Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to Charlene's World. Of course, I am Charlene. And on my channel, I talk about life, things that I have gone through personally, things that I am going through, in hopes that my testimony or my experiences will help you or educate you. Today, I would like to talk about I wouldn't even say young women, girls, young women, and women, even of a certain age, with low self-esteem. Some women overcompensate for not feeling worthy, especially in their relationships. I find that women do more than they should in a relationship with men because they're overcompensating for things they believe they lack in as a woman. And I say that because I was that person. I grew up one of 5 children, one of 3 daughters, the oldest of 3 daughters, and my position in my family's household was I was the caregiver. So, of course, there's mommy, but because I'm the first child and the first daughter, I was given chores and different things to do, which isn't out of the norm, no, by no means. But I learned how to cook. I learned how to wash dishes. I learned how to do laundry. I learned how to take my younger siblings to school and pick them up in the afternoon. I learned how to help them with their homework. If we went outside, to hang out in front of the building or in the playground, I was caring for the younger ones, making sure that they were safe, making sure I had all eyes on them. So I was that person. And I also grew up, I don't think my mother really knew at the time, but when I did tell her about it, I don't think she really took accountability for the part she played in, but I'm gonna tell you what it is. So back in the day, I grew up in New York with my family, and back in the day, for Easter, going to the circus was a big deal in New York. We would go to Madison Square Garden, where we would go to Barnum and Bailey Circus. And that was our thing. We did that for about 2-3 years straight. Every year we did that, right? We got dressed up in our Easter best outfits, hair done, everything. And we would go to Madison Square Garden to the circus. And we had a ball. But one of those times, my mother's mom, my grandmother, mommy's mom, said, now, let me just go back. 3 girls, I'm the oldest. At this time, I was around maybe 12. My younger sister was 6, and the other one was 3. My mom had a habit of dressing us alike. And I hated it because I was 12. My sister was 6, and the other one was 3. So if we didn't wear the same exact outfits, which was crazy, we would wear the same colors, right? Same color skirt, same color pants, top, whatever. Hairstyles the same. And so I remember one Easter, my grandmother came. She went with us for Easter to the circus. She complimented my 2 younger sisters, telling them how cute they were. Oh, you guys are so cute. Your hair's so pretty, red dress, and she didn't say anything about Charlene at all. I don't know if because I was older or what, but she gave all the love and attention and compliments to the two younger ones, and I didn't get anything. And that stuck with me for a very long time. It stuck with me. I'm 55 years old. It still sticks with me. Like, I don't know if she knew what she was doing or what. And then my mom, I don't know if she knew what grandma was doing or saying. I have no idea. All I know was how it made me feel and what I thought about myself. So I thought about myself as low worth. I wasn't as valuable as them. And let me just go back further. My mother had me first by my father. Got divorced before I was even 2 years old. When I was around 3 or 4, she married her new husband, who is my stepfather. Those two had 4 children. My 2 brothers and my 2 sisters. My 2 sisters, because they have a different father than mine, their hair was different. Their hair was more stringy, curly, softer, texture-wise, and mine was not. So, my ponytails, when I had ponytails, would stick out. Right? 2 ponytails, just sticking out. Whereas their ponytails, it hang. Right? And shake. And so I don't know if psychologically my grandmother, because they were little and they were cute, I'm not gonna lie, my sisters were very cute, and that's why she did it. And maybe because I was 12, she didn't think that she had to say that to me. But in any way, I took that and ran with it my whole life until I was 50, and that's another story. So up until 50, I didn't think I was worthy. I didn't think I was pretty. I didn't think I was attractive. I didn't think anybody wanted to be with me. None of that. So at the age of 18, never having a boyfriend, never had a boyfriend, the first guy that gave me any attention, I took it. When you never had attention from the opposite sex in your age bracket for a few years, right? Your girlfriends in high school and college have boyfriends or guys interested in them, and you don't. You think like you're never gonna get a guy to like you. And on top of that, my friends who were a few months to a year younger than me, they had bodies. Oh yeah, they were curvaceous. They had the boobs, they had the hips, they had the backside, they had it all. And they had freedom. Their parents allowed them to go places and do things that my parents wouldn't allow me to do, and I was older than them. I was skinny. I was a stick. I had no boobies. I had no hips, no waist. I had no backside. I was like a boy. So, wrap that all together into one, and that gave me low self-esteem. So, the first interaction I had with a guy, I took it because nobody else my age, 18, wanted me. So he is an older guy, 24. He wanted me. So I took it. I tell you, low self-esteem will mess you up. I got with this guy. I dated him for 3 years. And the whole time, I was miserable. I was miserable because he treated me like shit. And I just thought that was what relationship was about, you know. My mother was in a toxic relationship, toxic marriage, when I was of age to understand certain things. And that was my norm. And so I ended up feeling like that was normal. So when he and I got together, I didn't think that how he was treating me was wrong. I didn't think that that it was a bad thing. I thought that was normal. And so I ended up dating him, and I'm not going to get into it, but we've had a couple of fights, physical fights. I was little, 90 pounds, soaking wet. And I didn't know a lot, but I knew that you wasn't going to call me out my name, and you wasn't going to scream at me without me screaming back. And that was a little feistiness in me that pretty much saved me from, you know, getting into worse situations. But anywho, we would argue and fight, and I know now that was toxic then, and I knew it was then too. But you know how we say, oh, I love him. I say because I love him. Child, if you are in a situation, I don't care how old you are, if you're in a situation where your man is putting hands on you, or mentally abusing you, emotionally making you suffer, financially abusing you, meaning he's taking all your money, or he's not working and living off of you, that's financial abuse. You don't need it. Yeah, I went through so much crap. And by the time I was 24, I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm over it. But it was hard for me to leave. Not because I loved him. I was over that. It was hard for me to leave because I had 3 children. And I owned a house at the time. And a car. And I didn't drive back then. So the car was in my name. I financed it. I'm paying for it. But I didn't have a driver's license. And that was another thing. He made it seem like driving was so hard to do that I shouldn't even try to drive. He'll drive me wherever I need to go. So I got the car, and he was driving me everywhere I had to go. And so it took away my independence. I didn't feel like I could just jump in the car and go to the grocery store, or jump in the car and go to church. He had to be the one to take me everywhere I had to go. That was another thing. If you are in a situation that, I don't care if it's the same sex or opposite sex partner or partnership, you may not want to stick with that relationship, because it's going to drain you. It's going to drain you. Everything God is trying to do in your life, you're not going to see it because you're overwhelmed by the manipulation and the dynamic of your relationship. Don't do it. Get out. Get out. I'm telling you from experience. Been there, done that. Get out. You could do so much better by yourself. And what I realized and learned is that with the low self-esteem, my energy was bringing low self-esteem people. So he had to have been having low self-esteem about himself, which is why he was so jealous of me and very controlling. I couldn't wear certain things, I couldn't go certain places, I couldn't have certain friends. It's because he was lacking self-confidence and worth, and I attracted that, right? I'm learning that at age 55, that you attract who you are or what you are. And so because I didn't think I was worthy, I wasn't pretty enough, I was smart, but I wasn't pretty. I didn't think I was pretty. All these things I didn't think I was, that I attracted him into my life. And at the time I didn't know that, but now I do. At the time, I just felt that he loved me. And, relationships have ups and downs. And when it's bad, you don't run, you stick it out. You work at it. You make it work, And that's what I did. I shouldn't have. I really, really shouldn't have. But it is what it is, right? So I'm saying this to say, you could be 15 years old and you're dating a boy and he has some character traits where he's very controlling or jealous, always argumentative with you. Nothing you say is right. Nothing you say is worth listening to. You're stupid. He's calling you names. He doesn't do the things that you like to do or enjoy doing, but you got to do the things that he likes doing. He doesn't want you being around friends and family, but he wants you to be up under him. Like, those things, you got to know that that's not normal. That's not normal. And so you need to get out. I ain't gonna say it anymore. I mean, I think I said it enough. Get out. It took me about 5 or 6 times to leave my ex-husband leave him, because I had a mortgage in my name. I had 3 children. I had a job I liked. I had, no family in the state that we were living in. So I literally had to move out of state with my children and my belongings and all of that. I did. Eventually I did. But it was a lot and it was hard. And even though I think, right, at the time that it was only affecting me, no, it affected my children. My children are now 33, 32, and 27 from that marriage. And 2 of them are in therapy. The girls, they're in therapy. Because there were things that their father did or didn't do that painted a nasty taste in their mouth, and not having the father-daughter relationship with their father made them very skeptical about relationships, skeptical about opening up, being vulnerable, because he crushed them so many times. So they're in therapy, doing great though, but the little girl in them still has some healing to do. And so they're doing that. Of course, I take my accountability as well with them, and I've apologized to all of my kids regarding the decisions I made. because we think we're adults, that it's our relationship, that the kids don't have nothing to do with it. But that's so wrong. The kids feel your energy. They feel the energy of the household. They feel everything that's going on. They then internally think it has something to do with them, or that they caused it, or that they're too young to understand or fix it. So there are negative repercussions behind that. And at the time, of course, I don't think anything is wrong. I think I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, is to keep my marriage, work in my marriage, and then when I knew that it wasn't working, to get out the marriage. And that's what I did. But even after I got out the marriage, he still wasn't spending time with them. I would take them over there to his mother's house, and he would be there sometimes, and sometimes he's not. They spent most of their time with their grandmother, not with dad. So today, their relationship with their dad is just like another adult. They respect him, but they're not running to him when they're in a jam, or if they're having relationship issues or anything about life. They're not going to him for anything. They're coming to me. And it's terrible that that's the case, but he made his bed, and now he has to lie in it. But I try to instill in my children that they are worthy, they are valuable, they are loved. God loves them. God made them exactly the way that he wanted to make them. And God loves them exactly the way that he wanted them to be loved. And so they're living their life, and they're great young adults. Well, they're not young adults anymore. They're adults. They're great adults, great parents. I couldn't ask for better children. Okay? But therapy does work, and therapy is helping them to be better parents, better people. And one of my daughters, she's married with a beautiful family, great husband. So if you think you need therapy, or you think your children need therapy because you were in a terrible relationship and they witnessed it, they lived in the same household, they were involved in it, get them therapy. Have them get therapy. But that's it. I just kind of wanted to talk about that, because I think black people overall don't believe in therapy, don't believe in counseling, and it helps tremendously. I didn't know that the little girl in me wanted to do so many things, but was afraid to, because she didn't think she was pretty enough or she was worthy. And so now at 55, I'm making sure that she's happy. I'm making sure that all the things that she wanted to do, that we're doing. Because once she's happy, then I can be happy. And that's something that you guys need to tap into. The little girl in you, or the little boy in you, I'm sure it's not healed. We all went through some type of traumatic experience, or some type of childhood trauma, or whatever it is, and we need to be healed. And that little person in us has not been healed. They haven't been able to relax, because the survival mode in them is what's keeping them in that mode, right? You don't know how to have fun and do things, because you're always trying to take care of the adult you. But the little girl in you, or the little boy in you, needs to be healed as well. So yeah, thank you for watching. This was all about low self-esteem and not feeling worthy. And I'm praying that, you know that you are loved. God loves you. You were made specifically for Him to be who you are, 100%. Be 100% authentic, because no one else can be you but you. And so I'm learning to be my authentic self. I'm loud by nature. So I'm learning how to just be myself. You either love me or you don't. You don't. But I love me. And so I'm experiencing good things in my life, and it's thanks to therapy. So, you all have a great day. Check out my other videos. It's all about Charlene's world, life, kids, grandchildren, health, education, divorces, mental illness, domestic violence, you name it. I'm talking about everything. Everything. All right? Take care. God bless you. Bye-bye.